Hello and welcome from my messy art room again. Another Saturday class for John a Happy Place. So last week we created the Christmas paper gratitude chain. This week a little bit still Christmas-ish, craft-oriented project, but it doesn't have to be. This project has the freedom to use it for whatever you want. Would that be a background for your mixed media art? Or you can convert it into more practical items. So we are working with a PVA glue and watercolor, creating texture. And this texture can be used for bookmarks, sometimes with some text if you want, or just plain. It can be a single gift tag, or it could be folded gift tag. Many possibilities. If you want, just learning the background and creating a texture is a fantastic technique for your journal or your piece of mixed media art. Have fun, and I'm looking forward to what you create. Bye bye. Let's get started. So this project is again a bit Christmas orientated, but it doesn't have to. You can use it for gifts in general. We will create few things together from watercolor painting and from working with PVA glue technique and watercolor. I will show you some bookmarks, gift tags, so you can do it this way or use it for something else. The first stage is to use PVA glue, apply it to the page in a random pattern, and then you need that to be fully dry. So I'll do that, get it dry and come back to you and show you what happens. The principle is very simple. Where you put glue, that is likely to push away watercolor when it's dry. So, and it's going to be clear when it's dry, so you won't be visible, but you'll be creating those kind of interesting areas where watercolor is not sitting on like it would be on the paper. So I'm just applying different thickness as well. Some areas quite bumpy, some just the lines. And I'm covering full page because I'll be cutting that into smaller pieces later. PVA glue takes a while to dry. If you're using hair dryer, you can speed it up. If not, just leave it to dry overnight. But trust me, it's worth to wait. Sorry about the noise of the printer, you probably can hear that, but that just decided to switch on. So you can see sometimes I would go back to where like a mini puddle of glue is and just drag some of it to create more texture. Okay, so I'm going to get it dry and I will come back to you. Remember, if you want to, this brush, you want to still use it, clean it straight away in warm water and some soap or washing up liquid. Right, this is now dry. So what I'm going to do now is very simple. Use your watercolors with wet and wet technique. So plenty of water here first, and then you go into watercolors. Mix them with a wet brush if you have them dry. If you use fluid watercolors, you can just go straight for them and keep adding it to water and mixing the colors. So that's my next stage, and you will see that sometimes where the PVA glue is, it will create patterns, and it's about deciding. Sometimes you have to wash off a little bit of watercolor, especially if the glue was not that thick like here. You may need to do that. So let me get started. My idea is to cover the page fully, then again dry it and cut into smaller pieces of bookmarks and gift tags. So wet water, wet water, that's a bit silly, but water first. Or you can see my brush wasn't very clean because it's a bit yellow. So starting from this corner, and I'm having some fluid watercolors, but also you can use inks and a fluid water soluble medium. Okay. And let's have some yellow. And this is forming those patterns already. Yeah, you can see, I'm just looking at the camera trying to see how well you'll be able to see it, but yes, I think you are able to see it. So crease those passages. Yellow. More water. And you can move your paper if you want it to blend and a more uncontrolled way. And I'm just going to add water here because look, it's already kind of grabbing that color. But I want to introduce some green or teal. Let's see what that's actually ink. That's green. And I have some green here as well. Just more yellow. So it does the job itself, you know. Even if you just start moving paper without any brush, it will do it. But look at those patterns. Sometimes I only add water because I know there's enough paint. So now I'm only working with water. I know there's enough paint. Okay, I'm going to dry that piece. Maybe sometimes I'll have to get I may be okay actually with the paint, but if you have too much water, just use paper, tissue or something like that, just to get the water out. Just blending it. Go with wet brush and cover those areas. Okay, so let me dry it, and then I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces. Right, so I dried it and I already started cutting it, so I just want to show you So many possibilities now. So that's a piece of page that I still haven't cut into smaller parts to work with it, but look at the texture and all those variety of patterns you're gonna get. So those are examples of what you could be doing. Again, do it your way. Maybe you just want to use it for the background of your artwork, but you can utilize it if you want. It could be a gift tag. So you're just gonna cut out a longest bit, fold it in half, hole punch it, and here we go, you have a tag. You could have a bookmark, so make sure it's long enough. You can attach ribbon or anything, or piece of string or the wool to that. You may want to cover that in writing, or maybe collage in like a textbook page will look good for the bookmark. That's another option. You may have single tag. Again, attach something here like a string or piece of wool that could go for your Christmas presents if you wanted. That's another example of a bookmark. Really like those combinations of colors and patterns here. If you want, you can cover that, you know, attach maybe a message, write the message, or like me being lazy, cut out the message from the magazine and glue on top of your bookmark. So many possibilities, or use it as a background for your collage. It's great fun because those patterns, they really come up unexpected. It's great texture, and you're not gonna get the same two that are the same. All of them are different, and I'm sure if you decide to use them for your gift tags, they'll be really pretty and unique. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see yours. Bye bye.